It's 30 minutes past 6 p.m. You're live here on GHOne TV. This is News Tonight with me, Natalia, for a look at our top stories. Coming up tonight, Government of Ghana rolls out state-owned health information management system. Tonight we find out if the system lives up to expectations. Still on health, Health Facilities Regulatory Agency directs Tamale Technical University Hospital to resume full operations after the facility was temporarily shut down earlier this month for poor infection prevention practices. Also coming up, Foreign Affairs Minister wades into mission school conversation calling for interreligious tolerance. In other news, across the continent, former South African President Zuma's daughter quits parliament amid claims of recruiting mercenaries for Russia-Ukraine war. Across the world on Facebook and X at GHOne TV. We get started in the health sector. The Health Facilities Regulatory Agency has directed the Tamale Technical University Hospital to resume full operations effective today, November 29, 2025. This follows a re-inspection on November 24 after the facility was temporarily shut down earlier this month for poor infection prevention practices. HEFRA says the hospital has now met the minimum requirements and has been granted a 6-month provisional license to operate. In a statement, the agency says it will continue to closely monitor the facility to ensure sustained compliance with healthcare standards. Still on health, Ghana's bold move toward a fully digital health system was gaining momentum until a sudden ministerial order halted the Lightwave Health Information Management System nationwide. Today we examine what LIMS delivered, why it was stopped, and the real impact on hospitals and patients. In a series of reports across the country, our Western Regional correspondent Joseph Kobina Amwa has more.
The Ministry of Health once hailed LHIMS as Africa's most advanced e-health platform. Portable patient records, real-time data, paperless folders, faster NHIS claims, and shorter waiting times. But in October, Health Minister Kwabena Minta Akandoh suspended LHIMS in all public facilities, alleging Ghana's health data was being controlled from India. The shutdown sent hospitals back to manual systems overnight. We visited 2 Catholic hospitals still using LHIMS. The Father Thomas Rooney in Asankregwa and Jubilee Children's Hospital in Apowa to see the difference.
The system as a software is it helps us in billing, claims processing, just the service delivery in general. And then now when it came in, frankly speaking, it has its own positives and then negatives. We cannot say that the positives outweigh the negatives or the negatives outweigh the positive, but generally it has impacted positively. But however, we realized that we could not attend to any patient, be it inpatient or outpatient. Those who come in without health insurance, or we reverted, let me just put it, they resorted to cash and carry.
Staff admits the system isn't perfect with slow updates, sometimes corrupting inventory and NHIS codes, but they insist the benefits far outweighs the flaws.
It was being queued for a long time, they were not able to get their medication and other things. There were a lot of frustration. Some were angry, insulting us and other things. So there were frustration, yes. When it goes down, there should be another backup so that you can easily switch to that backup so that that deficit will not continue.
Within every 5 to 10 minutes, new patients will be coming. So I have to go out and make explanations for them to understand the reason why we've encountered that. Because when the system was functioning, they were moving as fast as it was. But when it went down, they were being delayed.
At Jubilee Children's Hospital, the story is the same.
At times for the monthly update, when they update their system, it affects my quantities and also my stock taking quantities on it. When they update their system, it affects the quantity because I will go through the quantity that I will have on my system. Either it will add up or it will reduce.
It has to do with the patients. When they come, we use limbs for them for the registration. So when it happens that we have to go with the manual, it takes time. And there are consulting rooms to they use the limbs to put in their data. So with the disruption of the limbs, everything must be done manually. And that goes a long way. It gives stress to the consultants and the patient themselves.
While the minister demands answers on data sovereignty and contract transparency, frontline workers and patients are paying the price of the pause. Most public hospitals now run on paper and pen. Catholic facilities continue with LHIMS, and the gap in efficiency is glaring. One thing everyone agrees on is that Ghana cannot achieve quality universal healthcare without a reliable, secure, and truly national electronic health system. The question now is not whether the country needs digital health, but how fast to fix and restart it. Reporting for GHOne TV and Star FM, Joseph Kobenamwa.
Meanwhile, government has begun rolling out the new Ghana Health Information Management System, GHIMS, in 20 health facilities nationwide. The state-owned GHIMS replaces the Lightwave Health Information Management System, LIMS, after months of heated disputes with its provider, Lightwave e-Healthcare Solutions Limited. A standoff that left several facilities crippled when the system was abruptly shut down. Well, after a successful run in 20 facilities, government is set to extend this to all facilities by close of the year. Evelyn Arba-Adu visited some of the facilities to see how the new system is reshaping operations and restoring seamless healthcare delivery.
450 health facilities were forced back to pen and paper sometime this year after their Lightwave Health Information Management System began failing. The electronic platform, designed to improve patients' data access, streamline administration, and coordinate care, had become unreliable. The situation hit rock bottom in September when the service provider abruptly shut down the system, grinding healthcare delivery to a halt and prompting the health minister to address the crisis publicly.
It's unconscionable for any individual or company to have access to the medical records, electronic medical records of Ghanaians without the state taking control, without the state having access to it, without having even access to the service.
Lives of patients in these 450 health facilities stood at risk as what once was an automated system for information management had taken a step back to a slower manual method. To salvage the situation, the Ministry of Health urgently introduced GHOne information systems to build a more robust application, one designed to keep facilities running without disruption, and this time, a fully state-owned system.
It will be difficult for anybody to say, I'm going to take data like what we have currently. So it is a very robust, solid, and foolproof system. It's owned by government.
Having heard the claim of a foolproof system, the news team set out to see how the new Ghana Health Information Management System, that is GHIMS, was performing in selected facilities across the capital. At the Greater Accra Regional Hospital, the outpatients department had the system already live, with the area noticeably less crowded compared to weeks back. Records personnel worked swiftly behind their stations. Eunice Alote is a patient who walked in that day. She tells the news team her processing took less than 2 minutes, a major improvement compared to the long delays she had recently endured.
System no, fast my chain paper no, and we have fast say, ube jina wa, omo bisa on some no mu paper, almost for ube blue hana ubi system neso.
Head of the IT department at Bridge, GHOne, revealed that the facility began piloting the system on November 10, with full implementation on November 13, and by Thursday, November 27, over 5,000 OPD patients had already been captured due to the speed.
The speed keeps on improving day in, day out. Over the 2 weeks period that we have successfully gone far into the implementation, I can confidently say that the performance in terms of the user management and manipulation, as well as the application's performance, has improved greatly.
At the country's largest health referral center, Kolebu Teaching Hospital, 7 departments, including child health, maternity, and the polyclinic, are already running on the new software, with 2,985 OPD patients captured since November 13. Robert Edu, head of IT at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, assesses the system.
The system is a web-based, which is accessible by any smart device or any device with a browser. And the accessibility is real-time, which means that between 1 second to 10 seconds, the result must be produced for the user to continue doing.
Our final stop was the Nima Polyclinic. Administrative Manager for Records, Oxborn Akolachen, told the news team that GHOne has improved features, including patient photos and richer internal data, a huge upgrade from the old Lightwave platform. He prayed that a change in network provider would be seen next.
It comes with the fees. You'll be able to reconcile the fees with the name and details that comes. My issue is with the intermittent fluctuations with regards to the network.
Nima Polyclinic went live on November 14, and Zainab Idris is one of the 600 patients already processed under the new system.
It was fast.
The system now handles everything the National Health Service needs in one place, from checking if someone's NHIS card is valid to sending claims, payments, and keeping track of all approved health providers. All the information goes through one organized, easy-to-track digital channel. When a hospital starts using it, a support team stays on site for a while to help them fix any issues with their forms, patient queues, or billing. All 450 facilities previously on the Lightwave system are expected to migrate substantially to the Ghana Health Information Management System by the end of the year. But for now, all teaching hospitals, including Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, Cape Coast Teaching Hospital, Sunyani Teaching Hospital, and Ho Teaching Hospital, as well as regional and some districts facilities, have gone live with the system. Evelyn Araba Edu, reporting for GHOne News and Star FM.
Evelyn Araba Edu with that report. Now, joining me in studio is the head of communication for the Ministry of Health, Tony Goodman, to provide some further insights on this and what we should expect as the remaining health facilities migrate onto the new system. Tony, good evening to you, and thank you for joining here on News Tonight. So, as was seen in the report prepared by our correspondent, 20 health facilities are successfully now running GHIMS. How long have they been running it so far?
Thank you. Good evening to our viewers. For
3 weeks now, we've been working on the system to have a robust system for the people of this country. So it's 3 weeks.
Over the past 3 weeks, almost a month. Now, let's start off the discussion talking about the figures, okay? Clearly specify how much government is spending on running this new system, GIMS, and break down what that entire cost goes into in terms of be it the development of it, the maintenance of it.
Yeah, thank you. You know, we got here as a matter of emergency.
Yes.
We did not plan having the system, but unfortunately we were hit with some challenges, and quickly we have to fall on this. So as I speak to you, we're currently going through some phases, and then I can tell we don't currently have the cost.
Okay, you're running the new system without any cost
for
whatsoever.
now. You know, because we have 450 health facilities on the system, on the old system.
On the old system.
And unfortunately, that was taken away. For us to save patients, for us to save our data, we quickly will have to fall on this before going through any other cost processes and all that.
So Tony, that's to say that it's basically an emergency action,
it's an emergency,
right? To salvage the situation. Yeah. So government therefore has not sat to ascertain the figures that are associated with rolling this out. It's been done for the past 3 weeks, you say, and there are quite a number of others.
Yes, so they're currently going through all of that. There is a regime now in Ghana. You don't just go and do to just procure. You need to go through what we call commitment authorization at finance. Finance will look at the figures. There will be value for money and all that before it comes back to you. So you may think that I'm spending 4 cedi, but by the time it comes back to you, so you can't spend the 4 cedi, so spend 2 cedi. So it will be difficult for anybody to say that whatever I've envisaged, that is what is going to come out.
However, in spite of that being said, what was the cost of migrating? Yes, it's an emergency action, but there should at least be some cost that you can speak to as per that action of moving them from the limbs to GIMS. What was that cost?
My sister, you know, we had Ghanaians who saw the need to do this and came to our aid without looking at cost. What they were looking at is to provide that essential service to the people. So we had people, everyone came without any cost. Initially, we were not looking at cost. I don't know whether you went to hospital during that period. There were a lot of hue and cry in our hospitals because if you go without the system, they cannot take care of you. There were long queues, and then they came to our aid and said, we want to assist. And then we started a process. We got all other government institutions to speak to them to actually understand what they were going to do.
The them you're referring to here are? The them. When you mentioned the them,
I mean,
specifically...
This particular company that came to
who
came to roll out this came to our aid and supported. So now what we are looking at is the 450 that were on limbs. Now you are moving this onto a new system without any cost calculation in the initial stages. What we are looking at for is a 500. You have another 500
to be migrated.
To be migrated. Those ones will go through competitive bidding and all that to get them onto the new system. This particular one was done under emergency to
so
save
just to clarify, when you say those will go through competitive bidding, is that the company going through competitive
The company
bidding?
that would now go through...
Take over the remaining...
the other one, yes.
So this very company, it's a Ghanaian-owned company.
It's a Ghanaian-owned company.
Are you able to share some details as per what
GHOne is a known company in Ghana, has a lot of...
it's an entirely Ghanaian...
A Ghanaian company. They've been doing this for the health sector.
For a while.
So for a while. So it was easy to rely on them or follow them.
So that's to say that they may or may not carry on with the remaining hospitals?
Yes. Since they are going through competitive bidding, you cannot say whether they are taken on or not. So there will be some processes here and there. We are currently focused on this particular one. This is where we are faced with some challenges and want to deal with it, and we've gone through that. What is more important now is the story you heard from the various hospitals.
Oh, certainly. I mean, it's positive.
Yes.
You know,
that we have
Ghanaians
coming to the aid of their own, making sure that challenge that was facing the sector was removed. I am happy to hear this brilliant report done by your station. We've had some people giving us some bad
reports.
Some bad feedback as per their experience.
Yes,
so
but
far?
this one gives us some respite, at least going forward. We know that what we are doing, this is a system. Definitely you have hitches.
What are some of the challenges that others have shared?
No, it's actually the other way around. They go to where we have not actually started the project and then say, oh, we are here, we've not seen anything and all that. But that's good.
Okay, so one of the key issues that the minister highlighted was on data sovereignty, and that was a concern with the previous system. So in this case, are we assured that that will not be encountered? Well, so far with the 20 that have begun rolling it out and hopefully with the others.
Unlike the first one where we do not have other state agencies involved, this particular one has NITA, Ministry of Communication, all other state agencies involved. This one has an exchange. It has a middleware. If you have any business to do with us, you only come, we give you an access to it. And then if we think that we don't have anything doing with you, you can go. And then the data still remains with Ghana. This one is Ghana Health Information Management System. The other one is Lightwave Information Management System. Lightwave is a company, and this one is Ghana. So this is owned by Ghana, purely Ghana.
And there are benefits to it being owned by Ghana. However, the concern also comes up as per being a state-owned system. How sure is the ministry to the fact that it wouldn't somewhat suffer the similar shutdown as was with Lightwave, that crippled Lightwave? How sure are we that that would not be the case?
Oh, we are sure. Your Ghana card is managed by Ghana. Our health insurance database is managed by Ghana. It's, most of the things we do, our passports, that database is managed by Ghana. So this is not one. This is just one of the improved IT infrastructure we've had in this country. We've just built on that. Don't forget that this is also sitting on the National Health Insurance, which is our system also. So it is an improved version of whatever we've had in the past.
Let's talk about the issue of training of these healthcare workers in terms of ensuring that they can fully man and operate this new system. What's the ministry doing in that regard?
You know, that also took us a bit of a time to get the people to understand this new process. They were stuck with a particular system, and then there is this an improved one. We took them to some proper training for weeks.
Before this 3 week period?
Yeah. So about 2 weeks were importantly doing training, so that when we moved, we won't have hitches. That is why it was so easy for us to roll this whole thing out.
Now, Tony, how about, we've obviously got regions and communities that have poor network. They don't have a stable network, as our reports also, second report by Evelyn featured on Accra. So how prepared is the ministry to provide this nationwide connectivity, technical support for these other communities?
There is another project that is currently ongoing, which is providing fiber optics to the various health facilities in Ghana. That is being done under a different project by Ghana Health Service. It's because of this. We know, obviously, we're going to have hitches, so that is currently ongoing. But this particular one is being run by NITA. So it's run nationally across the country. So by the time we are done, we would agree clearly which other network we should add on. You heard from the gentleman from Rich saying that we should look at another system. Currently they are running something. We need to just look at it because that is not stable. When they are scared that immediately you move NITA, we would have hitches like what we're having in the past. But I can assure you, we've taken into consideration all of these and we're going to improve upon them.
What are the specific timelines we're looking at? You mentioned within their remaining health facilities by end of
the year.
By end of 2020?
Yes, by end of 2020. That is what the
by end of this current year?
Yes, that's what the technical guys gave us. But
we see that as feasible? I mean, you mentioned that there are other, aside the implementing organization, there is going to be competitive bidding for the remaining
500.
But that is obviously
under the LEMS project, they were supposed to do 5 and 950, and they did 450. So we are left with 500. So that is what I was talking about.
So what's the remaining for the year 2025?
So this particular 450, they want to see the 450 migrated onto this system by the end of the year. I hope you are clear on that.
So this system is going to migrate, this 450 are going to migrate onto the existing system?
Yes.
Which is not going to undergo...
No, okay, so let me take you back. LIMS was running 450 facilities. Mm-hmm. The 450 got technical hitches.
Yes, absolutely.
GAMES is running a new program. We are moving these facilities onto the GAMES. We've moved 20. The technical team is telling us that they want to make sure that these numbers are migrated by the end of the year.
Okay, so we should expect them by the end of 2025.
Hopefully. If they're able to do it, I'll be happy. But looking at the number...
From where you said you foresee it has been feasible?
Oh, yeah, it is. Well, they've used how many weeks to do 20? We just have to do the max and see whether... But what is important is the way it's moving. The improved version of the old one, the picture, the various things you see in the new one. That is, I am excited to see an improved system. We didn't know that we could do this. For how many years now we've been struggling with the old system, and then the system came. I didn't know that we'll get here. So kudos to Ghanaians who are currently working on this. It has never been easy, my sister, I can tell you. It's not been easy.
Tony Goodman, thank you for your time this evening. We'll
Thank
conclude here and certainly engage subsequently as it is rolled out before end of 2025. Head of Communication for the Ministry of Health joining us on that issue here on News Tonight. We bring you more news shortly. Do stay. Welcome back to News Tonight here on GHOne TV, and some more news this evening. A major new wave of support is heading Ghana's way as the European Union launches a 17.3 million euros program to strengthen the private sector and expand social innovation nationwide. The initiative was announced at the 6th Social Enterprise Forum in Accra, where discussions centered on the future of innovation and the critical role of digital technology and artificial intelligence in building sustainable solutions.
The Safe Social Enterprise Forum brought together innovators, policymakers, and development leaders committed to driving Ghana's transition toward inclusive and sustainable growth.
We say we need solutions, that can take 20 to 100 million people out of poverty, address our poor road infrastructural challenges, promote good health, develop social housing solutions across the country, and of course, provide decent, dignified, and fulfilling jobs for the young people that will find ourselves in.
With artificial intelligence rapidly transforming global systems, this year's forum highlighted how digital tools are redefining access to finance, improving environmental protection, and expanding opportunities for young entrepreneurs, especially women.
We want to make sure that every child, every student have internet. I don't care where they are. It's the building, they are there, but when you go to the community today, you cannot learn, you cannot print books, and all of them are even online. If you go to libraries today, libraries are broken down. So let us follow the new policies of the world, and then do it. It doesn't cost that much.
The European Union says the country's next wave of social innovation will be powered by technology and strong partnerships. At the center of the event was a major announcement, a 17.3 million euro program for green, digital and inclusive private sector development.
Digital and inclusive private sector development. This 17.3 million euros program is co-financed in a Team Europe spirit by the Dutch and the French governments too, and will be implemented by a consortium composed of the Dutch Enterprise Agency, the RVO, Expertise France, and UNCDF.
The EU describes the initiative as more than funding, calling it a commitment to partnerships that places people, technology and environmental sustainability at the heart of development.
As we look ahead, let us continue to build partnerships that combine innovation with purpose, partnerships that harness technology not just for profit, but for people and planet.
The EU says the investment marks a long-term commitment to uplifting Ghana's innovators in social enterprises.
In other top stories this evening, the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, has waded into the ongoing religious debate in second cycle institutions, urging tolerance and harmonious living among all students and diverse faith groups. Speaking as the guest speaker at the 87th Speech and Prize Giving Day of Presec Legon in Accra, the Foreign Minister argued that instead of debating how strictly religious doctrines are adhered in schools, the focus should shift to understanding why some students graduate only to engage in societal vices and unethical behavior in the quest for illegal mining and fleecing state resources.
Instead of focusing on how strict religious doctrines are being enforced in our schools and the weird correlation between short hair and disciplined students, it is time to ponder over the real issues. Why is our educational system producing graduates who criminally create thousands of ghosts to fleece the state when real human beings are looking for jobs? Why is our educational system producing graduates who will destroy our environment, pollute our river bodies, and create a public health crisis for the rest of us, just to advance their greedy galamsey search for gold? Why is our educational system producing graduates who lack ethical leadership? Why is our educational system producing graduates who commit Ghana to unconscionable transactions? Why is our educational system producing plutocratic graduates who want so much for themselves and don't care about the country they lead and the generations coming after them? Ghana has hitherto been celebrated globally for our religious tolerance. Let's not lose it. We must remember the iconic example of our revered national chief imam, His Eminence Osmanu Nuhu Sharabutu, who celebrated his 100th birthday by attending a service at the Christ the King Catholic Church in Accra.
Away from that, Chancellor of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, KNUST, Otumfuo Seitu II, has issued a strong warning to individuals encroaching on university land, stating that the institution will not tolerate attempts to seize or repurpose its property. Addressing the climax of the university's 59th congregation in Kumasi, the Asantehene appealed to governments to grant immediate financial clearance to recruit additional academic and administrative staff, warning that the current lecturer-student ratio poses a long-term threat to academic quality.
The final day of the 59th congregation of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology saw 221 PhD degrees conferred on 66 females and 155 males, alongside the presentation of honorary doctorates. Vice President of the Republic, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, commended KNUST for upholding academic excellence and strengthening transformational research aligned with national development goals. She encouraged the graduates to translate their academic achievements into meaningful societal impacts.
Scholarship must be connected to impact and not limited to the lecture theatres or the laboratories. We are very proud to note that KNUST continues to insist on academic excellence and on relevance. The university is engaging more in translational research.
Addressing the congregation, Chancellor of the University, His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Seitu II, welcomed government's renewed commitment to completing the KNUST Teaching Hospital following the release of 56 million Ghana cedis and $38 million through GET Fund to equip the facility. His Royal Majesty, however, issued a stern caution against encroachment of the university lands, stressing that the institution will firmly protect its property from unlawful acquisition.
I have received reports indicating that some recalcitrant people continue to test our resolve. Let me therefore say again, with absolute clarity and without equivocation, any encroachment upon Nest lands will not be tolerated.
The 59th congregation closed with renewed optimism as leaders, graduates, and stakeholders reaffirmed their commitment to safeguarding KNUST's legacy while advancing research, innovation, and national development.
You're watching News Tonight here on GHOne TV. The need for women and girls to take up space in male-dominated science and technology fields remains an ongoing challenge the country is still working toward overcoming. But organizations like Women in Tech Ghana is working to change that narrative and open doors for more female participation in science, technology, arts, and mathematics. According to the chairperson of the anniversary committee, Mame Amma Van Dyke, women occupy a small percentage of leadership roles in STEM, and addressed the need to deliberately prepare young girls to rise into leadership positions through education, exposure, and mentorship. She made these remarks at the organization's reflected on its one-year anniversary as a growing advocacy movement for young women in technology.
Across Ghana, the push for more women to participate in science and technology is gradually gaining ground as organizations continue to challenge long-held stereotypes that label tech and engineering as male-dominated fields. Women in Tech Ghana is one of such advocacy groups working to change this narrative through mentorship, training, and community-driven programs aimed at empowering young girls to explore careers in science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. The group marked its first anniversary in Accra, bringing together students, professionals, mentors, and development partners to reflect and renew its commitment to preparing more girls for opportunities in the digital and innovation space. The celebration was held under the theme, Breaking Barriers, Building a Future for Women in STEAM.
There is a perception that mostly men are the ones who get into this field, and this field is actually for women as well. And want to increase the number of women who find themselves in this field, not just in the field, but also in leadership positions. So globally, we have just about 22 to 23% of women filling leadership position in STEAM. And so we want to increase that number, and we have to start from the basic.
Chair of the Women in Engineering Committee of the World Federation of Engineering Organizations, Dr. Engineer Enyonam, said exposing young girls to visible role models helps to build confidence and makes careers in technology feel achievable. She noted that the presence of male mentors and allies remain critical in closing the gender gap within the technology space.
Today, I'm very glad that we have our young girls amongst us. They have been able to see great role models that will ginger them, that will let them realize that it is doable. We have our male mentors and male champions supporting us. We'll be able to close the gender gap in technology as we strive towards the future.
Chairperson of the Coalition of NGOs in Water and Sanitation, Dr. Beata Awingpoka Akayane, also described the anniversary as a moment to challenge young girls to expand their ambitions beyond their current limitations. She emphasized the need to strengthen education at the grassroots to improve participation and leadership of women in STEAM-related fields across Ghana.
It is very important for us as development practitioners or CSOs to recognize the role or the synergies that exist between certain sectors and then STEAM as well. And we need to start from the local level to the mid-level, if I say, for education, the tertiary schools, and also work environments. So it's important for us as partners to look beyond just working in silos, but partnering. This anniversary should be a clarion call for them to look beyond just the space they operate currently to scaling up and expanding across the length and breadth of Ghana.
Women in Tech Ghana aims to scale up its training, mentorship and leadership programs to reach more girls across the country in the coming years, a commitment they believe is crucial to shaping a future where young women can confidently compete, innovate and lead in Ghana's growing STEAM space.
Former President GHOne Kufuor is calling for a swift overhaul of Ghana's mentorship and coaching systems to help develop globally competitive future leaders. He made the appeal during a high-level discussion on the proposed Mentor Coaching Academy aimed at strengthening youth development across the country. Stakeholders say Ghana's human capital cannot be fully harnessed without deliberate investment in scrutinized and structured mentorship. The initiative is being championed by the GHOne Kufuor Foundation in partnership with the British Council.
Former President GHOne Kufuor says Ghana must intentionally invest in mentorship and coaching systems that guide, equip, and inspire the next generation. He believes that the nation's human capital can only reach its full potential when experienced professionals commit to nurturing young people with the right skills and values.
The youth of today are far better educated than earlier generations. They are very smart. The only thing is they are so numerous. Unfortunately, the economy of our land hasn't kept pace in terms of development with the population explosion. So these youngsters, they have all the education, brilliant, they know the world through the technologies, but they don't have hope. The job prospects are not there unless the older generation, in between the generations, we see the occasion like this to stress the uses of mentoring and coaching.
The British Council, a key partner in the initiative, describes the proposed mentorship framework as a national priority. The Council says it is committed to helping design a system that guarantees equal access and opportunities for all young people, regardless of their background or abilities.
It's a national call to action. Our Papa, as former President Kufuor has thrown the challenge. I know behind the scenes he's going to work to bring a lot more support and influence around this, and that's why, for me, it's exciting that we're partnering with everybody on this to make sure it happens.
The Mentor Coaching Academy, spearheaded by the GHOne Kufuor Foundation and the British Council, aims to build a strong network of seasoned leaders who will mentor young people to become job-ready, innovative, and future-focused. The academy is expected to roll out nationwide engagement, campus outreach programs, and sector-based mentoring clusters in the coming months.
So live here on News Tonight. Now, across Ghana, local assemblies generate billions, but leakages, weak systems and poor accountability continues to starve communities of development. The World Conference of Mayors believes the solution lies in a return to discipline, efficient treasury management and smarter local trading systems.
From market squares to district treasuries, Ghana's local economy is undergoing a quiet revolution. The World Conference of Mayors, Ghana chapter, is advocating a new local economic model, one that strengthens revenue collection, plugs financial leakages, and expands opportunities for small businesses.
We are living in a country where we think it's only school dropouts, those who are not smart, that should go to vocational and technical school. And that is the reason why we have degrees upon degrees and we are still hungry. What we seek to do as WCM is to make vocational and technical education romantic so that the average Ghanaian will feel proud to also enter into a technical school.
With support from seasoned policy thinkers and leaders, including those with deep experience in local government practice, the call is clear. Local assemblies must become engines of growth, not centers of waste.
Food security is a national security issue and it's a topmost priority on a national security agenda for every country. Why are we not achieving it? Every policy intervention is fine by the government. We are happy. We will work towards it. But the missing link is here. Then the farmer who is bringing the food on our table. The farmers are living in the vicious cycle of abject poverty. Nobody cares about them.
The conference is pushing for stronger trade systems, cooperative business models, and financial discipline that gives value back to communities.
Our emphasis is to produce the large variety of modern Ghana goods out of our product. Out of cassava, get 10 different products. White glue, ethanol for food and beverage, dextrose and textrose and all those complexes. So we have miracle products, and it is our desire that we make these products go all over the world to make Ghana what it is.
A renewed commitment to patriotism and volunteerism, WCM says, will help rebuild the economic foundation Ghana desperately needs.
And in some more news this evening, a major rural electrification boost has unfolded in the Savannah region as GHOne Tech Design and Solutions launches its sun generator, solar lighting systems in Tuna. The initiative seeks to provide clean and reliable lighting for underserved communities that have struggled with chronic power challenges for years.
GHOne Tech Design and Solutions has introduced its flagship sun generator solar lighting systems to traditional leaders and residents of Tuna, marking the start of an ambitious rural lighting rollout across the Savannah region. The company says it intends to partner government and NGOs to ensure that no household, school, or clinic is left without dependable lighting.
GHOne Tech does not believe that 21st century anybody should be sleeping in the dark. This is why we have brought the GHOne Tech sun generator to the north. And we look forward to establishing solar lighting in all the villages.
It believes the initiative will also create jobs for local youth and improve safety, productivity, and quality of life.
I mean, looking at the economic situation, we are looking to bring out a package where people can pay installment so that if we give them 3 months, by the time the 3 months is finished, they'll be able to have their system installed for them.
The chief of Tuna, Tunawura Safo Amantana, commended GHOne Tech for setting up an office in the community and encouraged residents to adopt the solar system to enhance security and convenience.
We've all heard what they can do. Talk to government, and as individuals, as communities, as faith groups, collaborate, partner them, and let's see what we can do.
Assembly member for the Tuna East electoral area, Emmanuel Yedo, appealed to the government to partner GHOne.
Tuna Calva is within 3 traditional areas, and if you go traditional area, it's about 50 communities. It's only 1 community out of them is having electricity. Even charging our phones is a big problem. So if we have this kind of opportunity, it will go a long way to help us.
GHOne says its intention is to deliver clean, safe, and reliable solar power to every household, 1 village at a time.
You're watching News Tonight. We bring you business news next.
The Business Brief is brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
In business this evening, Indomie Ghana has climaxed its nationwide Indomitables Hero Pack promo with a grand draw at the Ashimota Retail Center, where 5 lucky winners have secured a fully sponsored trip to Disneyland and Paris. The promo, which ran from August to November 2025, engaged thousands of children and families who collected comic books and entered secret codes for a chance to win weekly and grand prizes. Over 2,500 rewards were given out throughout the 14-week campaign, including PlayStation 5 consoles, bicycles, gadgets, and a year's supply of Indomie. The exercise was supervised by the National Lotteries Authority to ensure transparency and fairness.
The grand draw of Indomie Ghana's Indomitables Hero Pack promo brought fans together at the Achimota Retail Center to crown month of excitement and participation. For nearly 2 decades, Indomie has been a household favorite, and the promo was designed to deepen its connection with families while rewarding loyalty.
So the Indomitables Hero Pack promo was a 14 weeks nationwide consumer promo to reward our loyal customers this year. We included a comic book in the Hero Pack promo to inculcate the habit of reading among the younger generations.
Over the 14 weeks, fans collected Indomitables comic books, each containing a secret code that could be entered online via QR scan or by dialing a provided short code. More than 2,500 prizes were won, ranging from PlayStation 5 consoles and tablets to bicycles, school bags, and a year's supply of Indomie. Some winners spoke to the news team.
I'm so excited. I wasn't expecting that though. So it's a great time now. For Christmas, share it to my friends, you know.
My auntie told me to go and get the Indomie pack. So we entered 3 times before we won the bar. I went to buy bag because she's lucky lady, so I told her to enter the code. And I'm happy to get this PS5, and the house is going to turn upside down.
I went to Accra to purchase something. When I got there, I saw this Hero Pack and it attracted me. So as it attracted me, I decided to purchase one. After purchasing and I got home, I decided to open and check what was inside. Lo and behold, when I opened, I realized there was a booklet inside. Upon opening the booklet, I found some steps that I need to follow to get into a draw where I could win. So I said, hey, let me give out my shot and see whether I'll win. And truly, here I am. I've won a bicycle. Charlie, bicycle.
At the climax of the promotion, 5 participants emerged as winners of the ultimate prize, an all-expense-paid dream trip to Disneyland and Paris. The National Lotteries Authority supervised all weekly and grand draws to ensure fairness throughout the campaign. Indomie Ghana says the Hero Pack promo has not only rewarded fans, but also ignited creativity, imagination, and adventure among children nationwide. The brand adds that the initiative reflects its long-standing relationship with Ghanaian families and its commitment to creating memorable experiences.
We had so many participants joining the promo, and the reception was so welcoming. So far as our consumers are there with us, we'll keep rewarding them so many ways. So they should watch out for the next year's promo, which is going to be so amazing with great prizes coming our way.
For nearly 2 decades, Indomie has been a trusted companion in Ghanaian homes, nourishing children, students, hard-working parents, and families alike. What began as a quick meal or snack has become a shared tradition, a friend at the table, memories around dinner, and a part of everyday life for countless Ghanaians.
Minister for Youth Development and Empowerment, George Andoh, is urging participants of the first cohort of the GHOne program to uphold high standards of discipline, commitment and professionalism. Speaking during a working visit to some hubs here in Accra, the minister urged the cohorts to adhere strictly to the program's guidelines. Benjamin Saki reports.
The GHOne program is a flagship initiative of President John Dramani Mahama, designed to support at least 10,000 youth-owned businesses annually with capacity building, mentorship and coaching. Out of that number, 2,000 successful and viable businesses will be eligible for grants to help them kick off smoothly. The initiative focuses primarily on providing business development services, startup incubation and funding to enable young businesses to grow and become successful. During his visit to some hubs, Minister for Youth and Empowerment, George Andoh, stated that personal conduct and dedication to learning are essential for the success of the cohorts.
What we seek to do with the GHOne is to equip you with those basic skill sets, so that at least it broadens your horizon and also opens other avenues so that your businesses can flourish. Our advice to you is you will take whatever you are learning here very seriously, and then you participate fully. I'm sure you know that government cannot fund all your big dreams, but there is always a first step, and the first step is what we are giving you.
He felt
Next on News Tonight, we bring you entertainment news.
The Business Brief was brought to you by CompuGhana, passion for technology.
On his own this evening, the Kumasi High Court has ruled that both Andoh Brony, known privately as Priscilla Oforiata, and Akosia Sewa Fosua are the valid surviving spouses of the late High Life legend Daddy Lumba. The landmark decision brings finality to months of legal wrangling and public debate over who holds the legitimate status of widow. The ruling gives both women the full rights to perform widowhood rites and participate in all funeral and estate-related activities, a development expected to clear the way for the musician's long-delayed funeral arrangements. The dispute began after Daddy Lumba's death on 26 July 2025, when both women laid claim to being his lawful spouse. Presiding Judge Justice Dorinda Smith Arthur also noted that civil and customary marriages operate independently under Ghanaian family law, making it possible for multiple valid marital claims to coexist. In its final judgments, the court declared both women spouses of the late musician, granting them equal recognition and rights. The decision officially ends the dispute and paves the way for the organization of Daddy Lumba's funeral. Away from EZO, we bring you international news next. I'm Natalie Fort. Have a wonderful evening.